Told you I'd be back, and here I am. Yes, I had to take the hair down. It was giving me a headache. All right, this is the chapter response for career development, which is Intro 3, Week 4. Your test is tomorrow, along with pre-med. Tell me true or false, you should list your salary on your resume. In other words, how much you expect to make or what you have been making at a previous job. You should list that on your resume. No, false. The blank period is a time for the new dental assistants to orientate themselves to the facility. What's that period called? Starts with P. Probationary period. It's to see if you like it, it likes you, if you're a good fit. I mean, they hired you probably in a day or two, but sometimes healthcare offices they may need help, but they're very slow to hire somebody. So don't be disillusioned, all right? Okay, what is it called when you write see resume on a job application? When they ask for references and you put see resume, what's that called? Laziness. You too lazy to put down somebody's name? Come on, okay? Now, I would suggest that maybe you get a relative. Sometimes they don't want relative, but get more than one. A relative, a personal friend, a clergyman, a pastor of your church. That's always a good one, okay? All right, you should do what to all resumes several or many times. Not only you, but have somebody else do it. And that is proofread. Please proofread it. True or false, it's okay to miss some time during the probationary period. No. I don't care if you got to drag yourself there with your guts hanging out. Go to work, okay? Let them send you home, but don't call in sick. Performance appraisals rarely give what type of rating? This is a performance appraisal on you. It's rarely perfect. So don't be offended if it's not. Now look, if you're at work and you're goofing off and all that, don't be surprised either. But with the criticism, you've got to take the criticism professionally and mature. If it's got to be something that can help you grow in the field and grow as a woman. All right, job what are abilities that needed to perform the job? Job skills. What skills? Let me ask you something. I know you probably haven't gotten into you're only an intro. You're not on the hands-on part in dental yet. When you get into that, you're going to be amazed at how much you didn't know and how much when you finish school, how much you do know now, all right? And what you're learning here are job skills. How long of a notice should you give before leaving a job? Got a better offer, I'm leaving now. Gave you 2 minutes notice, out of here. No, 2 weeks notice, at least 2 weeks notice. And it's okay if you tell them that your previous employer was a pain in the butt. It's okay, once you become friendly with people, yeah, it's okay. No, it's not. Zip it. Keep it to yourself, okay? I don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. Because if you did it to your previous boss, you're going to do it to them, all right? Okay. What is it called when you correct something by removing the errors? It's called rectify. But let me show you a little something I want to show you. Hold on. Okay. Here you go. Chief complaint. Can you see that? Chief complaint. Okay, I don't write that well, but that's what it is, chief complaint. And you put down patient pain on left side of lower jaw. Now remember, you're looking at the patient. So their left is your right is their left. And then you go, oh no, it wasn't on the left, it was on the right side. Okay, well wait, I'll just do that. And put right side. No, you can't do that. First of all, if you've made a mistake and you put left, You just draw one line through it. That's all you do. Then you make the correction, you initial it, and you date it. All right? Do not open it. This is a legal document. The patient's chart can be called into court. All right? And if you can't take a chief complaint correctly, they're not going to believe that you did anything else you were supposed to do correctly. So if you put right, left instead of right, don't obliterate it. Don't scratch it out. Draw one line through it, make the correction, initial it, and date it. All right? And then when you're finished, you're going to initial right here. That's the end of my note taking. Notice I didn't sign my name way down here to give somebody else that may not like me a chance to come in and write all kinds of things down that weren't true about the patient. So remember, this is a legal document. Don't use your own made-up abbreviations. You've got to use standardized abbreviations. That's why we teach you all the abbreviations. With is C with a line over it. Without, S with a line over it. Nothing by mouth, NPO. Left side, right side. All right? You've got to learn the abbreviations. All right, so, but that's rectifying, is making a correction. All right, and besides networking, what's another good resource for you for a job search? And that would be your school placement officer, all right? Your school career placement. And we have two of those here. We have Ms. Wendy, who does it for medical assisting, and we have Ms. Bonnie that does it for dental assisting. All right, where on a chronological resume, now remember, chronological is the most frequently used. Where on a chronological resume would the education be listed? First, here we go again. You're gonna have your name and all that good stuff. Got that? All your name, address, phone number, email, cell phone. Then you're gonna have your objective. Let's spell it out. I have the skills needed for this type of office, all that kind of mess. Then it's gonna be your education. Education is at the top of a chronological. Chronological means in order in which it happened. Your education comes next. Then comes your work history. All right? That's gonna come next. And by the time you should be toward the end of your resume, all right? But the education is going to come closer to the top. When are job performance appraisals usually done? Well, they're usually done after the probationary period, which would include either being 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, depending on the employer. And they would also be done at your anniversary. It's not necessarily the January 1st. It's when you started work. Some offices do them all on January 1st, regardless of when you started. But some of them, if you start in September, that's your anniversary date. That's when you get, your appraisal. Okay, performance appraisal. And what should always be sent with a resume? A cover letter. Cover letter. It does not have to be long. I've given you all samples, okay? Little cover letter. I am interested in the position that you have available. I feel that I would work well in the office work with children. It's an orthodontist office. I work well with children, that kind of thing. All right? What would increase your chances of getting hired along with the cover letter and resume? What else could you send after? Come on, I'm giving it to you, ladies. A thank you note. You can buy them at the dollar store. You can email them. Just a nice thing. And please be sure to mention the person's name. Just don't put to whom it may concern. No. That's not going to work, all right? You've got to list the person's name and the facility and the job position that you were interviewing for. They may be hiring several different positions. So you've got to list all of those, all right? How would you handle it if an employer asked you, How old are you? Or how many kids do you have? Or are you an American citizen? Or what year did you graduate from high school? Or would you be able to put your kids in daycare? Or do you have a car? If they're coming at you with all this politely, that's the key word. Politely. Ladies, in my whole life, you can tell somebody to go to hell, but if you say it in a nice enough way, they look forward to the trip, okay? Politely ask them if you could answer questions that apply to the job. In other words, you're pulling in the reins. You're saying, whoa, but you're not going, I don't have to answer. No, 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 no. That is going to get you nowhere but out the door, all right? Okay, all right. Let's see what we can continue on with a review here. A person with what is motivated to express love and capable of handling criticism. Self-esteem. How do you feel about yourself? All right, like I said, not much of that going around nowadays. Everybody's told they're no good, they're stupid, they can't get a job, they can't do this. Come on, everybody is worth something, all right? Okay, first of all, you got to evaluate your own what and weaknesses, your own strength. You can't see it, but your own strengths and weaknesses. And let's see, proofread. Make sure you proofread your resume, all right? And true or false, again, performance evaluations are always perfect. No, they're not. Okay, a special skills section typically only appears in what resume? Special skills is in chronological, that one that's mainly used by everybody, all right, in order in which it happened. Now, when you're doing chronological, you would and you get the education, you would list Eastern College first, and then list any other college you went to, and then your high school, all right? And you do not have to put the year you graduated, okay? You can just say graduated with honors or whatever, but make sure that you list Eastern College, all right? Okay. What would you do if the interviewer asked you, what questions shouldn't the interviewer ask you? You give me some hints. Well, can they ask you who do you admire? Sure. Can they ask you, tell me a little bit about yourself? You bet your boots they can. Can they ask you, why do you think you'd be successful in this position? Ladies, have answers. These are commonly asked questions at an interview. You know this ahead of time now. You can have prepared answers in your mind. I don't mean you have to memorize a script because you want it to sound on the spot. And remember, eye contact, okay? But what they shouldn't ask you is, who's going to take care of your kids while you work? And let's see, a portfolio, remember? When you're making up or developing a portfolio, which of the following can provide evidence of your specific abilities and skills? Specific abilities. Would it be prior employment documents? No. Reference documents? Not really. It would be certifications. These other things were just documents, letters. A certification stamped and numbered, okay? And it's got to be kept in the Hall of Fame somewhere. So it's a certification. Let's see. There's two things that, two things that can be used to support claims of your individual characteristics. And those two things include past job, your personal characteristics now, individual, your past job reviews, as well as your practicum or your externship evaluation. Remember, you've never worked as a dental assistant before. Your externship is going to be your first exposure to working in a dental office, okay? Make sure from every employer or every place you go, you get a letter of recommendation, all right? Okay, Is it illegal for the interviewer to ask you your nationality? Oh, yeah. What about your religion? Yep. What about how old you are? Yep. What about your marital status? And again, what, are you going to tell them, look, it's illegal. You can't have asked me those questions? No, you're not going to say that. You're going to politely ask the interviewer whether you can respond to questions that relate directly to the job. And you're going to kind of bring them back to where they should be. Okay. Let's see. Again, do not list your salary history on your resume. All right. Okay, my cupcakes, that's about it. This is a 33 question test. And pre-med, I think, is also 33 questions. But don't forget, it's got the diagram in it. All right. Okay, I will see you all later. Love you. Bye-bye.